Right guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm just going to be taking a look at the new Shimano 12 speed and why I think possibly it could be the end of the rim brake bike when it comes to the new release, if there is one, of a 12 speed Shimano group set for the road. So I'll take a look and I'll show you why I think that's going to be happening. Right, so here we have the rim brake rear wheel, as you can see, DT Swiss there. Now currently it's got 11 speed freehub body on it, so what we want to do is swap this out for the 12 speed. They're both 3-pull freehub bodies, so what we do is remove this one like so. You can see the end cap comes off like so. There's the old one, so I'll go ahead, I'll get the 12 speed one on. Right, so I'm just going to measure the freehub body, 11 speed. It's about 47 millimeters. Right, so here we have the two freehub bodies. Now if you notice, if I take out the quick release end cap from the 11 speed and try it in the 12, you can see it doesn't fit. It just fits straight over the end. So that one, it goes straight in. You can see it's as big as the end of the freehub. So what I've done to get one to fit in there, so we can actually try it, just machine one down, an end cap, so as it now fits in the end as it should against the bearing there. So you can see the difference. So now I can go ahead and get the micro spline on there. So you fit that, I'll put the end cap on. Like so. Right, so that's the 12 speed micro spline on there. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and measure that quickly, see what that comes out at. This is measurement. It's 47, exactly the same. So the spacing is exactly the same as it was before. With the end cap on that freehub body, it's exactly the same, 47 millimeters. Right, so I've got the back wheel in there, as you can see. Still in the middle of the frame, exactly where it should be. And you can see the freehub body's on there. Now you may be thinking, it's all on there, it's all working as it should. So now what I'll do, I'll put the cassette on there and show you. Right, there you can see the cassette mounted on. Ignore the fact that it is obviously a mountain bike cassette. They don't make road cassettes, but the principle's still the same. The wheel hasn't changed, it's still in the middle of the frame, exactly where it was. All I've done is put the cassette on the micro spline freehub body. The cassette can't go anywhere else. It has to be there. It's 12 speed. You can't alter anything else. It can't go that way anymore. It'd be in the spokes. And as you saw before, I measured the freehub body before and after, and it's exactly the same measurement to the end cap from the hub. So as you can see, there's nothing you can do about that. Yeah, the chain has to fit in between the sprockets. So the 12 speed is 12 speed. You can't alter the fact you need 12 gears. And as you see, the cassette, the wheel still spins perfect, but the cassette, you can move it just if you try hard enough, but it is solid. That's because there is no room, you see there, between the lock ring, the frame. It's just clamped up onto the actual cassette. There is no space left. And I'll show you why that is. Right, so the reason it won't turn with the 12 speed is because the lock ring and the end cap of the wheel are dead in line with each other, as you can see. So the lock ring's just past the end cap, so therefore as the frame tightens up, it just tightens up onto the cassette as well as the lock ring as well as the end cap. Hence it just clamps it up so it doesn't spin. It spins perfect when it's not on the bike, as you can see. Right, so I'll just remove the lock ring for the cassette and I'll just show you. You see the lock ring on them is a lot deeper than it was before on a 11 speed. I'll show you a lock ring on an 11 speed. So that's an 11 speed lock ring, 105. And that's a 12 speed. And it has to be deeper because the cog, that's not actually on the end of the freehub body itself. It's not actually resting on the freehub when you put the last one on. It's the teeth in the back of it, on the back of it there, the splines there, are going into the second sprocket, so it's just clamped onto that one, so it's not actually on the end of the freehub like on 11 speed. It was on the end of the freehub body. This has brought it over, so it's not actually resting on it like you see before. The measurements were the same, so the total overall measurement, but because it's just the second one in is just resting on it, barely any. I have to hold it so it'll fall off. You can see there's barely anything left for it to sit on. So this one's taking up that space, and then your last one is just sat locked into that one. They just lock together so it holds it in place, stop it falling off the end. And then your lock ring goes in, and that's why the lock ring's deeper. Right, so I'll just remove the microspline freehub body off of there. I'll put it back to the 11 speed. Like so. And I'll just pop the cassette back on 11 speed cassette and then show you the difference again. Right, so I've got a road cassette back on there now on 11 speed, and as you can see, the difference is the end cap sticks out just that much further to allow obviously the cassette still to go round. There's not a lot in it, as you can see, but there's just enough sticking out so as when you clamp up your frame, it doesn't clamp the cassette lock ring at the same time. So that's all there is. And of course that one extra cog that makes it 12 speed pushes it over that little bit more and makes it both clamp at the same time. Right, so there's a M8000 XT 1140 cassette. You see rim brake, it's still fit, and you can still use it, as many people do, because as you see there's still the end cap still sticking out. Even though it's a mountain bike cassette, it makes no difference. It's got a spacer, it's even got a spacer behind it as well to run it, but it still works because it's still sticking out on the end cap. Right, as you can see, that's a 135 dropout on this. Right, so we got the 1051 cassette on there. So you can see quick release skewer going through. And if you look now, the problem, as you can see, is the cassette will turn. But if you look there, there's absolutely no gap at all between the lock ring and the frame. And the fact you've got to get a chain to go on there as well. The chain's got to sit on that 10 tooth at the bottom, so as you can see, the chain will not fit on there. Right, so there it is, mounted into a cyclocross bike, as you can see, with a 12-speed Shimano 1051 on there. And as you can see, because it's a 142 dropout on the back, then there's plenty of room, as there should be, because that's what it's designed for. So it works a treat on that. But like I showed earlier, on a 130 or 135 dropouts, then you've got no chance, because there is no gap left. It's literally the lock ring is wedged against the frame. Right, so you can see the difference in the height. This is the 11 speed, there's the micro spline. They're both flat on the table there, and you can see the difference. Right, so there's some of the comparisons complete for you. So it looks like, unless something's going to be done, that'll be the death of the rim brakes with any 12-speed group set on them, because, like I showed, 142, it fits no problem at all on a 142 rear dropout. But 135 even, it just about turned, and a 130mm on a road bike, it was just solid. You could barely turn the cassette. So it looks like it's the death of rim brake bikes with a 12 speed. So 11 speed looks like it's going to be the limit for that, because there's no way anyone's going to redesign the rear wheels to fit on rim brake bikes, because like I say, they're trying to phase out the rim brake bikes, and it's all going disc. And it looks like the next Shimano group set, there's no way that this 12 speed is going to be on a rim brake bike. So all the manufacturers just be making disc brakes with 142 rear end on them for the road. So if you found the video helpful and interesting, then give it a thumbs up. Remember, subscribe to the channel for more cycle related content. Till next video, ride safe, and I'll see you then.